Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to BSV TV. I'm your host Satoshi, and on this show we'll be defending the one and only, truly genuine Bitcoin. The Bitcoin that Satoshi Nakamoto designed in his white paper as a peer-to-peer electronic cash system for the world. Let's get the disclaimers out of the way. So all the statements that you hear on this show are opinion and must only ever be taken as opinion. They are never to be taken as any form of advice, family, financial, sexual or otherwise. And on that note, let's sit back, relax, have some fun and enjoy the show. Get paid for your content in Bitcoin and set your own fee on Streamanity.
Yeah, I'm not surprised I wasn't asked why I'm convinced Craig is Satoshi. I posted on Reddit. He signed in my presence using the private key from block number one, the very first mined Bitcoin block. On a computer that I'm convinced had not been tampered with, on software I'm convinced that had not been tampered with, a message of my choosing.
At Enchain, we've just funded a number of universities doing, so far, a test up to 1 gigabyte because it validates what we've already done independently. We've tested up to 380 gigabyte blocks. We've tested 1 million transactions a second and transaction sizes up to 20 megabytes. Super complex scripts. Basically ones that can run operating systems. That's all of global commerce times about 50. On top of that, we can have complex scripts. On top of that, we can scale each of those transactions 1,000 times, which effectively means about 1 billion transactions per second, which means we can then have all derivatives, all complex trades. That means high frequency trading. It means everything that happens globally.
Is the market that effectively BSV is going for, is that global e-commerce, which is currently valued at $29 trillion?
No, that's too small.
Buy and sell Bitcoin instantly at bsvgravity.com. And you can now book and pay for your winter holiday at skibsv.com. Alrighty everybody, it looks like we are live. The time is just after 5. It's 5:15 on Thursday the 19th of August 2021. Let's begone. Welcome to Satoshi TV, aka Bitcoinist VTV, aka It's Just Bitcoin. Shout out to Arcade Rob joining me in the house. Thank you very much. Loads to get through on this show. My goodness me, never a dull moment as we all know. Check it out. So, where should we go? What do we want? Home. And we want BSV International reporting on what's going on. Check it out. Let's start with this one. MasterCard in trouble. Here we go. There's loads of articles to get through, so it's going to be a long one. You know, settle in, get your popcorn ready. UK court sets scene for $14 billion plus class action against MasterCard. They really are a naughty lot, aren't they? Dear oh dear. Summary. Britain's first consumer class action authorised. UK Supreme Court overruled objections to case in December. Claimants allege MasterCard overcharged 46 million people. London, August 18th, that was just yesterday. A London court on Wednesday approved a £10 billion plus, which is $14 billion plus, class action against global payments processor MasterCard. That claimant said could entitle 46 million British adults to roughly £300 each if successful. The competition panel tribunal, the CAT, had been expected to certify Britain's first mass consumer class action, brought by former financial ombudsman Walter Merrick after the Supreme Court overruled objections to it in December. The decision to finally authorise the 5-year case has a collective action established a standard for a string of proposed class actions that have been installed in its wake. MasterCard has thrown everything at trying to prevent this claim going forward, but today its efforts have failed, Merrick said in a statement. The tribunal's ruling heralds the start of an era for consumer-focused class actions, which will help hold big business to account in areas that really matter. MasterCard said the spurious claim was being driven by lawyers and backed by organisations primarily focused on making money for themselves. Is that not hypocrisy at the highest level? Merrick's alleges MasterCard charged excessive interchange fees, the fees retailers pay credit card companies when consumers use a card to shop, between May 1992 and June 2008. And that those fees were passed on to consumers as retailers raised prices. But Merrick's failed to expand the scope of the case by adding the estates to the deceased and compound interest to the claim. MasterCard said this reduced the claim size to around £10 billion. The claimant put it at £15 billion. The decision today reduces the value of this spurious claim by more than 35%, MasterCard said in a statement. MasterCard is confident that over the coming months, a review of key facts will further significantly reduce the size and viability of the claim. MasterCard are a bunch of unscrupulous individuals, if you ask me, in my opinion. Good grief, that's outrageous. But I mean, obviously, we know that they're linked to, like Bitcoin and all the other skullduggery that goes on. I mean, it's outrageous. I think same group of people, AIG, MasterCard, Pfizer Pharmaceuticals, Waddell and Reed hedge funds. This group of people, silverfish, are everywhere, and I think MasterCard is simply just one of their schemes. But stay tuned, people. Right, next one. Here we go. Check it out. Thank you for one of the chaps at CoinGeek, Gavin, for sending me this through. Check this out. Can you believe it? Judge in Craig Wright lawsuit wants quit as U.S. attorney to work for Jeffrey Epstein. If that isn't bad judgment, I don't know what is. It's outrageous. The controversial case had an equally controversial judge who was on the payroll of the now dead accused sex trafficker. The U.S. magistrate overseeing the legal battle between Craig Wright and the estate of Dave Kleiman over who owns the $10 billion of Bitcoin fortune and Bitcoin's underlying IP is not without controversy of his own. Bruce Reinhart once quit his job as U.S. attorney to work for Jeffrey Epstein, the multimillionaire accused sex trafficker who was being targeted in a pro-brother U.S. attorney's office, as reported in the Miami Herald on November 28, 2018. Epstein also hired Bruce Reinhart, then an assistant U.S. attorney in South Florida, now a U.S. magistrate. He left the U.S. attorney's office on Jan 1st, 2008 and went to work representing Epstein's employees on Jan 2nd, 2008, court records show. In 2011, Reinhart was named in the Crime Victims' Rights Act lawsuit, which accused him of violating Justice Department policies by switching sides, implying that he leveraged inside information about Epstein's investigation to carry favour with Epstein. It's outrageous. On October 23rd, 2007, as a federal prosecutor in South Florida were in the midst of tense negotiations to finalise a plea deal with accused sex trafficker Jeffrey Epstein, a senior prosecutor in their office was quietly laying out plans to leave the U.S. Attorney's office after 11 years. On that date, as emails were flying between Epstein's lawyers and the federal prosecutor Bruce E. Reinhart, now a federal magistrate, opened a limited liability company in Florida that established what would become his new criminal defense practice. In 2011, affidavit Reinhart swore under penalty of perjury that he was not part of the team involved in Epstein's investigation and therefore was not privy to any confidential information about the case while he was at the U.S. Attorney's office. However, as the Miami Herald points out, Reinhart's former supervisors in the U.S. Attorney's office filed a court paper contradicting him, saying that while Bruce E. Reinhart was an assistant U.S. attorney, he learned confidential non-public information about Epstein's matter. In the one of the 2011 Epstein cases, Jane Doe 1 and 2 versus United States, Reinhart took offense at the idea that he did anything wrong. In that motion, the plaintiffs alleged that Reinhart, quote here, joined Epstein's payroll shortly after important decisions were made limiting Epstein's criminal liability, and improperly represented Epstein's victims in follow-on civil suits. Plaintiffs contend that such conduct gives at least the improper appearance that Reinhart may have attempted to carry favour with Epstein and then reap his reward through favourable employment. Reinhardt takes great offence to these accusations, which he contends are false, irrelevant to the CVRA claims, and gratuitous, and seeks intervention to rebut these allegations and move for sanction. In 2012, he went to work for the white-collar crime division of McDonald Hopkins LLC in Miami. At the time, a public relations firm put out a press release stating, since 2008, Reinhardt has been in private practice providing white-collar and complex civil litigation strategies for a variety of businesses, executives and non-profit entities around the country. As Julie K. Brown of the Miami Herald put it, Reinhardt's defection was one of many highly unusual turns that the Epstein case took 12 years ago. Moves that could merit examination as the multimillionaire's controversial non-prosecution agreement is dissected in the wake of his arrest last week on sex trafficking charges. So this must have been a while ago. When was this? Let's have a look at the date. So this is August 28, 2019. Well, I'm only just finding out about this now anyway. Reinhardt was appointed US Magistrate in March 2018, nearly a year after R. Alexander Acosta began his stint as a Labour Secretary. Acosta resigned on July 19, 2019 over his handling of the Epstein case. At the time, Reinhardt is recorded in the Palm Beach Post as saying, "It's been a good week in our house." That was odd because the next sentence is about a guilty verdict for the client. Quote here, he recently represented former Boynton Beach police officer Michael Brown, the veteran cop, last month, with sentenced to 6 months house arrest and 3 years of probation. Something stinks. Something stinks. It's just not right. There's so much stuff going on at the moment. Good grief. All right. Anyway, let's get on with this telephone conversation. And this looks absolutely awesome. I was chuffed to bits with this. Check it out. Now we're talking Bitcoin voiceover. Let's have a look at the rest of this. Here we go. Bitcoin phone, voice over Bitcoin protocol, hacking end sequence channels. How cool is this? So this is a brief YouTube video, which we will just have a listen to right now. Here we go.
Okay, it is 9:32 p.m., July 17th, 2021. I am in a conversation with Joe over the Bitcoin SV network. We are sending bytes back and forth from each other. Joe, do you want to tell me about this a bit?
Sure. So basically, what this is my voice. This is the first conversation to happen over Bitcoin. And my voice is basically every second, 44 kilobytes worth of it is going into a Bitcoin transaction and being propagated through the Bitcoin SV network in a way that every single node in the Bitcoin SV network will receive this specific transaction. And then that transaction will go to Hudayfa's computer, and Hudayfa's computer will unpack it, and then finally it'll play it out through the speakers. So just like IP and voice over IP works, this does the same exact thing, but on top of Bitcoin. This is voice over Bitcoin. And there are tons of bugs, but it works.
Sweet. Welcome. Well, thanks for coming to our TED Talk.
That was awesome. Voice over protocol history in the making. The first time recorded voices have been sent over the Bitcoin network. And how exciting is that? That is absolutely fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. I'm chuffed to bits with that. So literally, you know, we are getting our privacy back, our data, and now people can't even listen into our phone calls. This is absolutely amazing. Amazing. You know, especially with what's going on in the world at the moment. But I mean, that was so exciting. That was so exciting. Maybe that makes me a little bit of a geek, but I thought that was great. So let's read what it says here. Inspiration. I was inspired by talks by Ryan X. Charles on replacing the TCP with Bitcoin transactions. I thought that idea was interesting, but after thinking about it more, I was convinced that by using n-sequence transactions, we can actually do this today. Some of the other work that affirmed my assumptions about the incentive structure and why this would work is listed below by Craig S. Wright and Peter Risen. Okay, so there's some of the papers there, but we read this article first. What it does, this is a phone that hacks n-sequence channels and Bloom filters by using the fact that they update a broadcast voice data all over the Bitcoin network. Essentially, it takes your voice data, wraps it in a non-finalized Bitcoin transactions, pushes it into the Bitcoin network. These packets are broadcast through the entire Bitcoin network via the transaction propagation tool, and a listener who has a Bloom filter set for transactions from you will both be able to receive the transaction you've sent, unwrap the audio data you've sent, and play it through these speakers. This happens every second, with every second of your voice being broadcast through the Bitcoin network, and every broadcast incrementing the sequence number, ensuring a continuous stream of audio data. Your peer, friend, then does the same thing in reverse, and now you've got a two-way audio, a phone. Awesome. TLDR, it's a phone on top of Bitcoin that uses the power of sending fast, big transactions over the Bitcoin network and replacing them with n-sequence. How we built it, I built this by using Breton Gunning's Rust SV library and the Rust port audio library. There is a bunch of modules in the Bitcoin phone repo, each with a different purpose. I wrote thousands of lines of code, and it's spaghetti-ish, so it's tough to explain, but essentially the domain module will show you all the synchronization logic, the audio module, the logic as pertains to sending and receiving data, and the net module. The biggest module, by the way. Handles all the connections to peers, maintaining connections, and the other modules are for signing, transactions, handling, etc. Challenges we ran into. The primary challenges were integration. There are so many components that do so many different things. There is a module to fetch the data, create the transactions, connect to the network, update peers, etc. It was hard doing integration. The second big challenge was in cross-platform support, where testing in Windows this failed. Accomplishments that we're proud of, it works. We were able to have, as far as I know, the first ever conversation on top of Bitcoin protocol. The evidence is both in the video and the following transactions. Please note the non-finalized n-sequence number in the transaction, as it shows that the transactions were updated that many times. There are many more on the Bitcoin SV blockchain, and they can all be found by pursuing op return data with a phone prefix. What we learned so much from this experience. Here are some of the highlights. The Bitcoin SV network is capable of handling a lot of bandwidth. We only pushed it to 1.33 megabytes, but I'm sure it could handle more than that. We learned that miners currently have no minimums to the fees needed for n-sequence transactions, and that needs to change. We learned that INV packets have a default delay of 150 milliseconds. This needs to go down to make this type of transaction better quality for users. The website to watch Bitcoin transaction, Bitcoin Blocks Live, seems to fail when we maybe used it. What's next for Bitcoin Phone? The most important thing for Bitcoin Phone is to integrate a UI on top of the current app to allow people to associate payments with phone calls directly. Wouldn't it be great if you could see a counter and the amount of money you're making with a specific phone call? The next thing is to add peer discovery so that people could request calls with random people by broadcasting the status on the network through the same n-sequence style as shown there. Lastly, there is more refactoring and functionality to add in terms of sending the payment and updating in the n-sequence transaction channel. I plan to continue to work on this even well after the hackathon, as it's too inspiring to put down. There is a lot of refactoring work to be done, as this was just a prototype. I'm so thrilled that this validated all my assumptions about Bitcoin and that it worked. If you ever want to demo this with me personally or need help trying to get it to run, please reach out. Awesome, I'll do that. Fantastic. Honestly, I'm chuffed to bits with that. Absolutely chuffed to bits with that. Brilliant. Brilliant. Amazing stuff. I love Bitcoin. Did I say that before? Yes, I'm sure I've said that many times. All right. And let's get on to CoinGeek. Here we go. Rock and roll. More stuff on Binance. Let's get into this. I'm loving hearing all of this stuff. Here we go. August shaping up to be Binance's worst month ever. 2021 has been an eye-opening year for the digital currency industry. As was always inevitable, regulators and law enforcement agencies across the globe have begun to clamp down on rogue players and write regulations to bring the criminal elements within the blockchain arena to heel. It's been a particularly rough year for Binance, with credible rumours that its jet-setting CEO CZ is on the cusp of stepping down amidst a wave of bad publicity and large banks blocking payments to the digital currency platform. Let's take a look at some of the blows the cryptocurrency exchange has taken in August so far. August 2021, Binance's worst month to date. Major banks begin to delist Binance in June and July of 2021, leading the exchange to suspend GBP withdrawals and limit withdrawals dramatically on most accounts. Yet August has arguably been the worst for Binance from a public relations perspective. Here's a rundown of what has happened this month alone. First, HSBC banned its UK customers from making any further payments to Binance, adding to the wave of banks who did so in June and July. Next, Binance US CEO Brian Brooks resigned just a few short months after taking the position. Brooks was the former head of the office for the comptroller of the currency under President Trump. Then mid-August, the London High Court ordered Binance to track hackers who broke into a customer's account and stole funds worth £2.6 million. They were also ordered to freeze the hackers' accounts. This week, Dutch Central Bank issued a warning against the exchange, stating that Binance is providing crypto services in the Netherlands without the required legal registration. So in the space of a month, we've had one of the largest banks in the world telling its UK customers Binance is unsafe. The CEO of Binance US quitting after a few months on the job, and Binance being instructed by a UK court to help solve cyber crimes that occur on its platform. All of this adds up to less money flow into Binance, a humiliating PR disaster, and extra expense related to tracking criminals who use the platform. Ouch. A death blow for the anonymous cash myth. Let's zoom in and focus on the most recent story for a second, because it has potentially massive implications. There are two statements of interest here. Binance said, "We can confirm that we are helping Finch AI in the recovery of assets." And the second one, the hacking victim's lawyer, Saindur Rahman, said, "We need to dispel the myth that crypto assets are anonymous. The reality is that within the right rules and applications, they can be tracked, traced, and recovered." These two statements are the equivalent of atomic bombs for those who understand their implications. They mean that the entire notion of Bitcoin and other digital currencies being anonymous has always been a lie, and that these assets can be tracked, traced, and even recovered. Imagine if gold turned to lead when stolen. If the thief gives it back, it turns to gold again. Satoshi Nakamoto. I love these things because now we're actually seeing it. It's coming. The prophecy is being fulfilled. The two lies being addressed here, that digital currencies like Bitcoin are anonymous and that stolen funds can't be recovered, are behind much of the crime that pervades the industry. Dispelling these myths will reveal one of two things: either those who espouse them were complicit, or they simply didn't know what they were talking about. There may also be legal implications for exchanges and custodians who promote these myths to customers. The truth is coming out. It's ironic that Binance is at the centre of this potentially landmark legal case. Its founder CZ is a fan of repeating the mantra that compliance with regulations is a journey. But the truth is that Binance had made greater efforts to KYC check its customers and comply with anti-money laundering laws from the outset, the myth of anonymous cash and irreversible transactions could have been dispelled much sooner. The truth is, when done right, Bitcoin is a tool for reducing theft, fraud, and financial crimes. Transactions can and should be reversed by appending the blockchain ledger with a new transaction when crimes have occurred. Wallets can be blacklisted and frozen. KYC and AML and other financial regulations do apply, and Bitcoin was designed to comply within them from the outset. The truth is coming out slowly but surely, and when it is widely understood, it will make the end of the Wild West era for the digital currency and blockchain industries and the beginning of its true potential. Absolutely. And we know the potential for it is absolutely huge. Absolutely huge. Loving that. All right, let's have a look at this one next. DeFi money markets charges latest example of why DeFi can't escape the law. All right, great picture there. So, quotes here, full and honest disclosure remains the cornerstone of our securities law, no matter what technologies are used to offer and sell those securities. And that was Gerber S. Gruel, director of the SEC Enforcement Division. It's been a long time coming, but if the last year has taught us anything, it's the law is coming to the digital currency and blockchain industries. The US Securities and Exchange Commission recently brought charges against 2 Florida men, Gregory Kao and Derek Acree, and their Cayman Islands company for raising $30 million by selling illegal securities via so-called smart contracts. It's the latest in a series of actions by the SEC and other regulators that dictate the law has finally caught up with the industry and is no longer buying its decentralized so the law doesn't apply narrative. What happens with DeFi money market? DeFi is short for decentralized finance. It's an idea promoted with the digital currency within the digital currency space that 2 parties can connect through online platforms and both lend and borrow money without licenses, KYC checks, or compliance with any of the existing finance laws. In this particular case, the SEC alleges that Kao and Acree sold illegal securities on a specific platform, DeFi Money Market, through their company Blockchain Credit Partners. According to the SEC statement on the case, they have bullet points here. The pair offered and sold illegal securities on DeFi Money Market between February 2020 and February 2021. They sold 2 types of tokens, M tokens to earn interest on DMG governance tokens that supposedly gave holders both voting rights and a share of profits. What a load of crap. Kao and Acree told investors that they could pay the interest because they would buy real-world assets, but soon discovered they could not meet these obligations because of the price volatility of the digital assets involved. In other words, they probably went down. The SEC alleges that they never came clean with investors, but instead misrepresented the facts and used both personal funds and funds from another company they owned to make interest payments. Robbing Peter to pay Paul, in other words. Daniel Michael, the chief of the SEC Complex Financial Instruments Unit, echoed what Dr. Wright has been saying for years when he stated the federal securities laws apply with equal force to age-old frauds wrapped in today's latest technology. In other words, it's old wine in new bottles. As this case and others like it show, DeFi cannot escape the law. While it has become somewhat of a mantra in the digital currency space that the law should bend to accommodate new technologies, lawmakers see it differently. We're seeing more and more evidence of this as powerful political forces like the European Union begin to understand the industry and legislate accordingly. If DeFi goes down, what's next for Ethereum? Exactly, Ethereum, the scam that keeps on scamming. Ethereum has been through several image overhauls since its launch in July 2015. Ask any 2 Ethereans, that's the people that hold Ethereum or support it, what it actually is, and you're liable to get a range of answers from a global settlement layer to a world computer to a platform for decentralized apps. While some Ethereum-based applications are ceasing operations because of the gas fees and congestion, Ethereum enthusiasts are certain that this platform is the future of everything. Yeah, right. Regardless of what it's supposed to be, Ethereum has been at the center of DeFi, which began to take off in late 2019. DeFi platforms like Ava run on it, and billions of dollars have changed hands without a thought for know your customer or anti-money laundering laws. DeFi proponents are convinced these laws do not apply due to the global nature of the industry and supposedly decentralized nature of DeFi platforms. Nonetheless, we have seen some popular DeFi platforms like Uniswap grow more cautious as the noose begins to tighten around DeFi. Absolutely. What's this laser douchebag saying? If Uniswap is delisting tokens on their front end for regulatory reasons, you should also consider whether the non-KYC stablecoins that account for the vast majority of the platform's utility are sustainable. They're not at all. The majority of the DeFi economy is a LARP and can be easily outlawed. Yeah, it's not DeFi at all. What the case involving DeFi money market shows is that authorities are beginning to get wise to DeFi and clamp down on it. Just as the mass fraud unleashed during the ICO boom ended with a bang in 2018, many believe DeFi will end the same way. Bitcoin was designed to comply with all existing laws. When Satoshi Nakamoto lost control of the Bitcoin protocol, it fell into the hands of anarchists and criminals who fundamentally misunderstood it and used it for nefarious purposes. For example, mistaking Bitcoin for an anonymous and untraceable cryptocurrency, Silk Road boss Ross Ulbricht ended up behind bars for life. However, the original Bitcoin protocol is back, having been restored to its initial form as outlined in the 2008 Bitcoin white paper. It is fully legally compliant, just as Satoshi designed it to be. BSV is the antithesis of most of what's going on in the digital currency industry today. To learn more about how Bitcoin Enterprise blockchain is compatible with existing financial laws and can help regulators and enforcement agencies spot, track and prosecute financial crime, listen to its inventor explain how, as an immutable evidence trail and honest money, not a cryptocurrency for crooks and anarchists to flout the law with. Brilliant! Oh, there's more. The era of crime in the digital currency industry is almost over. As the DeFi money markets case illustrates, the law is catching up, and it's catching up quickly. Yes, indeed, it is catching up quickly. Great articles there by CoinGeek. Loved those. Right, let's get into some more stuff that I saw. This looks weird. There's more stuff on Binance, on our favourite shitcoin online magazine here. Let's see what it was. It's this former SEC Jay Clayton joins Fireblock Advisory Board. Another one, just in it for the money. Dear oh dear. Binance Crypto Exchange outage sparks outrage as traders lose millions. Look, they're exit scamming. They're exit scamming. Yeah, they have no idea. Binance will cease to exist on the 29th of October this year. And we're sort of coming towards the end of August, so literally you're just like, 2 months and a few weeks. That's it, and they'll be gone forever. Poof, like that. So Binance's policy allows investors to get compensation on trade losses due to system or initial use issues, but does not cover the what could have been situations. Outages in crypto exchange have resulted in losses for investors trying to get out in time. While Binance has been proactive in neutralizing such situations, numerous investors are reportedly seeking damages due to the exchange's inoperability. Speaking to CNBC, a Binance spokesperson highlighted the company's policy that promises to compensate actual trading losses due to the system or internal issues, but noted, "We do not cover hypothetical what could have been situations such as unrealized profits." Yeah, because they'll keep them for themselves. In some cases, when investors reach out for compensation in relation to the said outage, Binance's customer services team reportedly offered a low rebate while refusing to comment on pending legal matters. Back on February 11th, Binance had to temporarily go offline after suffering an outage due to a 60% spike in its web traffic. As a result, the exchange suspended deposits, withdrawals, spot and margin trading, peer-to-peer trading, OTC portal trading, saving and redemption, as well as asset transfers from sub-accounts, margin accounts, futures accounts, and fiat wallets. Good grief, like the whole shebang. Binance has recently caught the attention of regulators across the world in relation to trading and licensing complexities. Binance CEO CZ has stated his intention to get licensed in every jurisdiction. Again, that's another blag. They're literally just, what's the expression? Trying to string it out, and until the company is disbanded and no longer exists. It's crazy. But people don't know this. Sal publicly offered Binance's CEO position to a person with a strong regulatory background. Currently, Binance is facing regulatory scrutiny from authorities across the world, including the Netherlands, Malaysia, and South Korea. Aimed at damage control, Binance has proactively stated implementing restrictions to lower the chances of high-risk trading, from limiting high-leverage trading to completely restricting derivatives trading. Yeah, they're not doing too well at all, are they? That was quite a fun article there. Let's see what else there was on Cointelegraph, just for lulz. Why not? Let's have a look here. Oh, there was one. There we go. This is one. JP Morgan Chase reportedly shuts down bank accounts for a Bitcoin mining firm. And let's read what this is all about, and then we'll go on to that liquid exchange hack. Here we go. Delaware-based Compass Mining offers US citizens exposure to Bitcoin mining via its private infrastructure. Sounds suspect. American banking giant JP Morgan has reportedly blocked all account activities of Compass Mining, a coin mining company based out of Delaware. The information came to light when Compass Mining CEO Whit Gibbs announced, quote here, shout out to Chase for shutting down Compass Mining accounts, for doing our part to replace the old guard with self-sovereign, future-focused supporters of hard money. Get behind Coolcoin or get out of the way. Compass Mining has been involved in offering mining rigs and hardware hosting services for Bitcoin mining. Under the pretext of supporting the Coolcoin hash rate and network, the company allows individual users to take mining operations via its private infrastructure. Cointelegraph has reached out to both parties for further comments and will update this article should they respond. JP Morgan has previously shown support to the crypto ecosystem, all the way from seeking blockchain talent to allowing wealthy investors access to crypto funds. On August 6, in an effort to offer crypto exposure to clients, JP Morgan allowed access to 6 crypto funds in a span of 3 weeks. This move has now exposed traditional investors to a Stone Ridge Coolcoin Strategy Fund that's intended to strategize around Coolcoin futures, contracts, and pooled direct with indirect Coolcoin investments. Last month, Mary Callahan, DOS, Director of Asset and Wealth Management at JP Morgan, highlighted the importance of meeting the demand for crypto investments. A lot of our clients say that's an asset class and I want to invest, and our job is to help them put their money where they want to invest, she said. Just letting them do whatever they want to do. Like, dear, oh dear, all this shitcoinery. You know, these people have no clue. It's fascinating, really. Reading all these articles and just realizing how deluded these people are and ignorant. I mean, it's really not hard to figure out. Do you know what I mean? I mean, listen to my show. I pretty much explain it all, really. Check this out. A breaking Liquid exchange hack to the tune of $80 million. Well, was it a hack? Was it an exploit? You know what I mean? Has it just simply been siphoned out into the pockets of those who own the exchange? There's loads of shenanigans going on behind the scenes. So over $80 million worth of digital assets has been removed from a Liquid global exchange. KuCoin has responded by blacklisting the addresses that received stolen funds. Japanese exchange Liquid has been hacked, with about $80 million in digital assets moved off the platform. The exchange confirmed the security breach in a Thursday tweet, with Liquid revealing the wallet addresses implicated in the breach. The exchange noted that only its warm wallets were affected, adding that its assets are currently being moved into cold storage. Withdrawals and deposits have been suspended on Liquid, with the exchange promising to provide regular updates as its investigation unfolds. Oh dear, oh dear. So yeah, they're announcing the hack and where they've gone to. While Liquid is yet to confirm exactly how much has been taken, Cointelegraph has identified that more than 107 Coolcoin, that's a 9 million Tron, 11 million XRP, and almost $60 million worth of Ethereum and ERC20 tokens appear to have been taken by the hacker. It's a huge amount. It's a huge amount. I mean, the crime these days, in cryptocurrency is just massive. It's massive, but how are they going to get rid of it? Even if you run it through mixers, it can still be traced. There are unconfirmed reports that the Ethereum wallet compromised held deposits from crypto yield providers Celius network. In April, Celius announced that it had integrated with Liquid to offer the exchange's customers a compounding return on digital asset purchases. The announcement noted that Liquid became one of the first fiat to cryptocurrency exchanges to support Celius's native token CEL token in 2019, stating that the two firms have continued to grow their partnership since. Another exchange, KuCoin, promptly responded to the hack by blacklisting the addresses involved in the hack, according to a tweet from the exchange's CEO, Johnny Liu. In November 2018, Liquid suffered a breach that saw its users' personal information exposed to hackers, possibly including names, addresses, and passwords. Oh dear, oh dear, dear, oh dear. If people just stopped shitcoining, they wouldn't get in all this trouble, would they? But again, they just don't want to believe that the genuine Bitcoin is the genuine Bitcoin, because they're all like, crypto anarchists. I mean, it's absolutely insane. What they preach makes no sense whatsoever. It's literally absolutely insane. And I saw this quite good article here on Coindesk. So again, another big new bank getting involved. Wells Fargo launches passive Bitcoin fund for wealthy clients. JP Morgan also registered its passive Bitcoin fund with US regulators Thursday. So I think I went through this one, actually. I've been over it before. Wells Fargo on Thursday registered a private core coin fund with the US regulators, becoming the latest mega bank with an indirect crypto investment vehicle for its wealthy clients. Oh, dear, oh dear. Another fail. Oh, but people are getting involved. It's getting big, for want of a better word. Visa and crypto payments startup wire to its fast track payments program. Blah 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 blah. Yeah, Poly Network. Who cares? Former SEC Jay Clayton joins a crypto firm Fireblocks. Yeah, just heard about that. Yeah, right, we'll leave that one. Not really too bothered at Coindesk, really. Top stories on Decrypt. So this is again about the former SEC chairman Jay Clayton joining Fireblocks. Again, it's going to be another huge fail, isn't it, really? SEC chair Gary Gensler wants to regulate DeFi. Yeah. BlockFi, TaxBit partner to provide crypto reporting tools for US clients. Oh, they're going to love that. And let's have a look at news quickly on Bitch News. What's this? Dogecoin Foundation is back with Elon Musk's advisor and Ethereum's Vitalik Buterin. Like, what? Weekly DeFi swaps tap $17 billion, while DEX aggregators show a share of 22% of trade volume. Honestly, like, who cares? Who cares? Yeah, know about all of them. Know about most of these. Yeah. Alright, let's have a look. I mean, this one sounds funny, doesn't it, really? Let's have a quick read of this. See what it says about Elon. I mean, what's this? Dogecoin Foundation is back with Elon Musk's advisor and Ethereum's Vitalik Buterin. Like, what does that actually mean? Just waiting for this to load. Whenever you are ready, Bitch News. See what's going on. Come on in, that should do. Oh, don't tell me I'm going to have to edit this bit out. I know I've got a gremlin in my computer. There we go. I'm starting to get a little bit paranoid, to be honest. What's this? Yeah. Alright then. Here we go. So, Dogecoin Foundation is back with Elon Musk's advisor and Ethereum's Vitalik Buterin. The Dogecoin Foundation has been re-established with a renewed focus to accelerate the development of Dogecoin. You've got to be kidding me. Honestly, you've got to be kidding me. Among the foundation's advisors are Ethereum's co-founder Vitalik Buterin and Gerard Birchall, the manager of Tesla CEO Elon Musk's family office. Dogecoin Foundation relaunch. So the Dogecoin Foundation has been re-established with a renewed focus on supporting the Dogecoin ecosystem, community, and promoting the future of the Dogecoin blockchain. How stupid have you got to be? Honestly. Community. The foundation announced on Monday. After being inactive for many years, the foundation tweeted Monday, "Guess who's back?" emphasizing that it is not here to take control of the Dogecoin core wallet project. The foundation explained, "We are here to accelerate the development effort by supporting current Dogecoin core and future Dogecoin developers to work on a full-time basis through sponsorship, as well as providing a welcome landing for new contributors hoping to help with the project." Honestly, this is absolutely insane. I mean, imagine when everything that we are seeing being built, you know, on Bitcoin. For example, like crypto fights, and now this, historic Bitcoin phone going across. I mean, there's just so much going on in Bitcoin. You know, it's absolutely massive, and it's the only network that can handle anything like that. Yeah, I mean, this is just absolutely laughable. Yeah, I mean, but can you imagine the rush? You know, it's crazy. I mean, like, the fact that it's suppressed at the moment, it's a massive political cover-up. Massive political cover-up. Right, we'll leave it there, folks. That was an epic show. 44 minutes gone so far. Shout out to Arcade Rob, Elvis, Cool Cat, and BSV Wins, and Reform Too Many Coin in the house. Rock and roll. Right, chaps. Handles and paymails in the chat box. Let's do this. It's time for Ding a Dong, one of my favourite parts of the day. It's Ding a Dong and get it on. So starting from the Rob, that's Arcade Rob. That is Pikes. That should come up. Yep, there we go. Got it. Swiping to send on the way. Turning my volume up. There we go. Got it. Elvis Cool Cat also in my contacts. There we go. Swiping to send on the way to you. BSV Wins. Yeah, my book From Suicide to Sushi with Satoshi. I'm still writing it. I've had quite a few people contact me about that recently. I'm gonna have to get on with it. But I mean, the book is literally like, it's almost like writing itself. But there's so much to put in. I'm thinking about maybe turning it into 2 books. The second book is actually going to be called Silverfish. Or it will all be explained, but yeah, I'm not sure whether to include that story in this book or save that for the next one. It's pretty crazy, so yeah, we'll see how it goes. I will let you know as soon as it's finished. Reform to BSV, well, you'll have to tell me what your handle is. I can't remember what it was. And use it or lose it. Here we go, on the way. Swiping to send. There we go. Oh, half truths. Yeah, there we go. Nice one. Yep. Orange Kicks in the house as well. Excellent stuff. Here we go. Got it. Swiping to send. On the way. I'll have to put half truths in my contact list. Here we go. I wonder if it comes up. Half truths. Oh, fat fingers. TU. Half truths, is that right? Oh, truth. One word. See if that registers. Am I going to have to start again on that one? Yeah, it looks like it. Oh, my fat fingers. Come on, Toshi. There we go. Got that one in there. Second. Hey, I finally got it. Whew. That took long enough. There we go. Swiping to send on the way. And I think, is that it? Yeah, the top will make it fly off the shelf for these. I hope so. I mean, yeah, I thought it was kind of cool. A lot of people are talking about it. So the story is epic. You know, there's no other story out there like it. You know, yeah, it's an epic story. I mean, I love it. It's in my head. It's just when you're writing it down, it's like literally word for word, all the details. You know, if I could write faster, I'm sort of like doing it, sort of like, you know, I'm not exactly a speed typer. Like not necessarily one finger at a time, but you know, do you know what I mean? It takes forever, but there we go. So rock and roll. Yeah, 48 minutes, an epic show today. I need to upload this onto Streamanity and then YouTube. I hope you enjoyed it, and as ever, be aware, take care, stay safe out there, joy given. Catch you guys later. Get paid for posting your pics on Relica. Download the app now at www.getrelica.com. Get your tweet etched on Twitch, forever on the Bitcoin blockchain. Do it today at www.jointwitch.com. BuyBSV.live, the best place to buy Bitcoin SV online. Support independent content creators on micropayment platforms such as Streamanity, Twitch and Relica. We should profit from our data, not the large corporations who track, monitor and sell it. If you enjoy the Bitcoin content that I produce, please support me by heading over to www.satoshi.tv, where you can keep up to date with all the latest news, gossip and content as it's created. Thanks very much. To get started in Bitcoin, go to freebsv.com, where you can claim your free Bitcoin. Then head over to Twitter and follow @IamSatoshi, where you can take part in his very generous and world famous free giveaways. The future of advertising meets the power of Bitcoin at Tonic Pow. Get paid for posting advertising campaigns to your social media profiles. Go to www.tonicpowads.com.